Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of Fun Without Vulgarity, Victorian and Edwardian Popular Entertainment Posters. And this is by Catherine Hall, or Haill, I'm not certain. This is from the Stationery Office and it came out in 1996 and there's 112 pages, not the 30 it says on the Amazon website for some weird reason. Here's the back cover and it's got some really brilliant examples. Now, not every single poster of the period has been saved. Obviously, thousands were probably produced. Many of them were never registered. Apparently, it cost some money to register them, so they weren't registered. But these were stored away with the Stationery Office, and therefore they're in really good condition. Few creases here and there you can see, but in most cases, they look superb. Now, the colours are not super bright. Maybe they weren't that way back then either. So it's one of those things, it's very hard to tell. Over time, they're going to fade. So you're never going to get exactly as it looked like in the Victorian age or Edwardian period, as much as it would be nice to see that. I love these ones. Unfortunately, these ones are not included. It's nice that they put example of that, but I love these ones where there's another one there where you've got a vast number of different things. Mungo Park, Scenes of the Circle, Mr. Batty, Feast of Lanterns. I'm certain they were excellent. And of course, this was just before the cinema. And of course, I'm certain the posters of the early cinema probably matched to a degree some of this sort of design as well. Some of the typefaces and things probably followed through. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen a book of posters of cinema, of early cinema. I'm certain they must exist. No idea. Still, it's got some lovely pictures as well. There's a study there, lovely drawing there of people obviously going to the theatre and the audience. And you've got there a lovely bibliography. It can't be a good old bibliography. Theatre in the Victorian age, Last Empires, theatre posters. I'm certain many of those are absolutely fascinating. Oh, that's another one. So that one's 1983. We must check that one out. Who knows? Trouble is sometimes, of course, these books become quite expensive. Not always. This one is out of print, I'm certain, but you should be able to get copies reasonably easily. Now, the page numbers, unfortunately, are not used throughout, but plate numbers. So you've got index the artists, and you can see the artists there. And here's the plates themselves. And I'm obviously not going to show every example. And it puts at the start, because the way it was done, the registering of these posters, some were registered, millions and maybe thousands anyway, were not registered because of cost. And I don't know, maybe some were lost over the years, who knows? But still, there's a fair amount of great posters, some really good ones and some pretty dire ones. I don't think it's making an effort in terms of saying this is bad, and it's all up to the individual, of course. So you might turn around and say, oh, that one looks terrible, that one looks good. And you might, obviously, there's certain things that maybe not so agreeable. Faust Up to Date, and it's got information about the theatre, the Vulgarity Theatre, 30th of October 1888 even. That would be really weird. Got some details there of the people who put it on, as well as the artist, printer and registered as well. So you've got here March 1894. So that's weird. So it actually was in 1888, but 1894 it was registered. So 6 years later. Very strange. But still, you've got lots and lots. I love all the clothes, the fashions, of course, very much obviously Gaiety Theatre again, Miss, and sometimes it's very hard to read. What was that? I wonder what. Letty Lind. No idea. And it gives some detail about Letty Lind was regarded as one of the most engaging performers in burlesque. Probably must have been amazing to go and see all those things. You've got this one, the Dandy Fifth. Great poster there. The Little Maids. That's another one, the Slave Girl, Miss Isabel Bateman. Now again, it gives Deborah was a slave heroine, is helpless, bound by wrists to a tree by the wicked over, and so on and so on. But what a great poster. And again, absolutely brilliant condition. Now you can see some marks. You can see obviously the fold there, and there's a bit of rippling in the paper, but still on a few sort of smudges, marks. I guess the best of will in the world, when they came, there was obviously some damage before they even got it stored away, safely stored away. But it's great that these were stored away. It would have been sad to have lost all this. And I think the style looks like quite a lot of the early sort of comic books. When you look back at the sort of 1880s, 1890s, that sort of early comic book style in England. And you can see that very, very similar sort of look. And I love the fonts. The fonts are great. The typeface is there by Walter Melville. I don't know what this one, A Disgrace to Her Sex. This was in Rotherhithe, 1904. And it's got here, also it gives a reference to the what's stored, where it is the folio, etc. So that's great. 1904, and it was registered in 1906, again 2 years later. But it's some really beautiful artwork here. Obviously, the Proud Maisie. I have no idea what that one is. The Golden Land of Fairy Tales, and you can see the styles and things that change. Obviously, fairy tales, probably Peter Pan, those sort of things. So you got that. I mean, just beautiful artwork, just glorious. Gives so much detail and information. Obviously, this was intended as a Christmas treat. I can well imagine. Though, when you look at that, there's actually nothing there. There's nothing that probably I'd think to myself, ooh, that looks like Christmas. I wouldn't have looked at that and said, you know what, that looks like a Christmas treat. Because it doesn't give any indication that it's Christmas. It doesn't give any, just says Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 2:30 and 7:45. Very odd. And every afternoon at 2:30. Oh, that's very odd. So every afternoon at 2:30. Oh yeah, I see what it means there. Just the way it's done. That's a weird way of spreading it out. The information. You've got Aladdin. So you've got Aladdin one again. Babes in the Wood. So again, obviously a lot of very similar sort of things. You've got the Babes in the Wood again. The Theatre Royal in Manchester. And the artwork is really, I mean, the colours are a bit, again, muted. They're not really bright, super sort of saturated. But I still think they're pretty reasonable. And I don't think I could complain about it. You can see the size there against my hand. It's a decent sized book. They're not very small. Now, this book would be nice like a Taschen or something, one of those sort of small ones we get 500, 600. But you can't get everything. But it's still, and I love these ones as well. You've got here the High Telephone Wire Cyclist. It's got details about this person and 1889. This one doesn't say when, not certain when it says here. And it even says how much he got, £25 for a week's appearance, apparently. Because apparently there was a breach of contract. So the information was actually revealed. So that's just fascinating. And these sort of things as well. The Great Continental Facial King. I'm not certain what that's about. And of course, it's got loads of faces of various people. And you've got here Lord Beaconsfield, well known. Mozart, well, actually, you do know. Mozart, General Gordon, because he was actually from Maidstone. Lord Beaconsfield, Disraeli. I don't know if he was from Maidstone, but he was our MP for. He did something anyway, Maidstone. Terrible. I should know my own history in my own town. But anyway, still, there's some. And they've even got Shakespeare in there. Now, he has got no connection with Maidstone at all. There probably is. Who knows? Gladstone, Shah of Persia, Napoleon III, some person now, I don't know who he is, I don't know. 20 minutes at Madame Tussauds. I mean, that is just great. Of course, obviously I should have guessed looking. I didn't see down the bottom. Madame Tussauds, the great continent. This poster would not win any prizes for design. It certainly wouldn't. They threw everything. The kitchen sink, put everyone on there. The thing is, I love that. John Cronow. No, I don't know him. Don't know him at all. Cronow. Imitate. Oh, right. So I'm just reading it now. And he was depicting famous various people. The Facial King. Okay. Makeup artists, wigs, sideburns, hats and headdresses adopted and discarded at speed to change him from Queen Victoria. Well, the Mike Yarwood or whatever. All the various people, obviously impressionists. That, yeah, wonderful. The graceful Gretrella. That's a very hard word to say for me. Gretrella. Maybe Gretrella. Maybe it was. I'm not going to say. But still. Oh, that one's a good one. Buffalo Bill at the back. Actually, that is a very nice poster, that one. Imposing figure of Buffalo Bill bathed in the light of the blaze. I mean, I think that's quite glorious. Yes, got a load of variety, children's plays, dramas, melodramas, burlesque, comic opera. They went through a lot of different forms. And I just think it's just great. Oh, let's see if there's any more. No, that is pantomime, obviously still going. What a lovely book. I love these sort of books. I wish they'd bring out more of them. I wish they had a lot more posters in here. I think it's just a fascinating book and really worth checking out. If you're interested in Victorian, Edwardian sort of poster design, some of these will not win any awards. Absolutely no awards for design. But still, they sell the thing. That is what they were there for, to sell it, get people going. They were not going to win awards in terms of, wow, that was the most amazing design. There's a few that I think are really, really nice, really beautiful. And some, of course, are showing things that, but again, they turned around here, it would be tricky to do in a theatre. But I think it's like going to a film, quite often the poster sometimes doesn't always match what's in the film or whatever, or the trailer. It's a sort of, it's to sell the story, isn't it? You go, never despair, and the guy's shooting this person in a boat on the Thames. I mean, just a great evocative picture of the Thames. You can see the fog and all sort of there. Just beautiful. Obviously, St Paul's there, the golden band in the other one. Absolutely lovely book. Really recommended. Really worth checking out.